What?
We are online, buddy. This is our first time with video.
All right.
Are you guys getting nervous yet?
Nervous? No. I don't really. Yeah. I don't get nervous anymore.
After what this is like 20 something during the first season, and I think this is now episode 8, not season 8.
Yeah.
So we're doing pretty good.
Yep.
We just got to get more on it, like regular. Yeah.
And then when I go, you guys got to have me on too. I'll call up and you can have me on the hotline.
We can do that now. We can do that now.
Yeah, we should.
For real. You can use your webcam and you can webcam in.
Oh, and you'll put me it'll be like in the screen of the video that you guys do?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I want to do it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right.
Yeah. So I guess we gotta, now that we've talked about that, we probably should tell our viewers listeners about what's going on with Carrie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So want me to say it, you guys?
Yeah. Go ahead.
We're not going right now, are we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we're going. Yep.
Yeah,
so
we're just winning
I will
like this,
buddy. All right. Well, hey, hello. I guess we're going.
Yep.
So on May 15th will be my last day here. I'll still live in this county, but I'm gonna go work for Wexford County Veteran Services as the director there, and that is 2 counties over, technically, maybe 3.
I think about that.
When I drive there, I go through Kalkaska, and Grand Traverse County to get to Cadillac, which is in Wexford County. So, yeah.
And how far is that drive?
It's about just under an hour.
Yeah.
And I try to beat that. So, no, I don't. Yeah. So,
but the gas prices up there are better. You
yeah, down Cadillac, they are. Yeah, they were when I was there, and I've heard that too. So that's good. Yeah.
There's places in the UP right now that are still at $3.50 something.
No,
really?
I'm like,
what?
How?
Yeah,
but there's certain places still getting snow up there too right now.
Yeah, I think they just don't have any technology up there. That's why, because they're still, really rural.
They're all analog.
I'm kidding. Yeah,
that's probably smart. That's why the prices are cheaper.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so I'll start there the 18th, in Cadillac, and I'll be the first full-time director that they've had.
Oh wow.
All the others have been part-time.
Yeah.
They've been like 4 days a week though. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and there's still American Legion representation there too. So there'll be him as a VSO, which is Phil.
Oh yeah.
And then be one other VSO there.
I'm curious to see how your claim work evolves while you're there. Are you going to submit through American Legion, VFW, DAV, any of that kind of stuff? And this may not be something the answer right now, but I know in our office here, we do it through our NAC VSO accreditation, and that way we have positive hands-on the claim work as it goes through the system.
Which is what I like. I don't like it to have to be funneled, I guess, through various...
Like a middleman or anything like that.
And then have it
figure it out.
Yeah, so, yeah. If I have a choice, I'll still stay with NAC VSO as far as claim submission. And if people want to submit through American Legion, they can do that through that VSO there.
Yeah.
Which no difference, but it's just how we do it, I guess, the method.
Yep.
But doesn't change the claim itself. So, yeah, that's the plan.
Well, we're excited.
We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Congrats.
I'm excited and nervous, but thanks.
And expanded our network. I think it's going to be a good thing. So
yeah, that's the one thing I like about it. We'll still be able to be in touch.
So the office there is going to be, if I remember correctly, it was only like Monday to Wednesday before, right?
It was like Monday to Thursday, and it was, I think they did some offsite stuff like once a week, but I don't know how effective that is. I got to find out if they even had people show up for that.
Like satellite somewhere?
Yeah, which might not, it might be more like a as needed thing, I think, if I have a choice on that.
Right.
Because one day out of a week being gone from the office is, we all know. 2
days of catch up.
Yeah, you can't catch up with stuff. Yeah, it's just frustrating.
Especially if you're going to be the only full-time person there.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
And if
I get I mean, there's going to be one part-time VSO that they'll have, which the current director will take that spot as he trains me, and then we'll hire a VSO at some point to come in, because he was the retired director from previously, and he came back as a contracted person, from what I understand, to help out because of the office having nobody there for a couple
I
months
can't
or so.
remember. Did they do their Wexford County veteran stand up or what?
The fair?
Not the fair.
Oh.
Expo.
They
The
have
expo.
that in June, and they do plan on doing it. And
But
they had it last year.
They did do it last year.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
Because
I
they do it
remember that.
every year. It's a big deal for them, apparently.
Well, I thought because of the turnover that they skipped a year.
Maybe they did.
And I don't know this for sure.
Yeah, I'm not
so
sure.
don't take that for granted.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that it's very priority. It's a priority for them.
Is it?
Yeah.
They get a lot of vendors that come to that, you know?
Yeah. So and it is a big town. I mean, I think I know I mentioned that I used to work there like 20 years ago for the Forest Service.
You're returning.
And now that place is so big. Like it has changed a lot. So it's grown.
Very
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Good luck. And,
yeah, thanks.
you know,
I'm sad to leave you guys, but
yeah, well,
I'll be bugging you all the time, I'm sure.
That's fine.
hit us up. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So I'll definitely plan on being on the podcast when you guys want me to.
Heck yeah.
So with Carrie taking over Wexford, you know, we ended up hiring Eric Sutherland to take over her spot. He starts the following Monday, the 18th.
Yeah.
This is a gentleman with all sorts of personality.
Yeah.
Very outgoing. He's got a bigger beard than you, I think.
He's like right up there, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But he's definitely, you know, passionate about his veterans and stuff. So,
and he's a local.
Yeah.
Yep.
Knows quite a bit of people. So,
yeah,
I'm pretty excited.
And he's kind of seen a glimpse of what we do in here, and we've talked to him about it, so he understands. And pretty much jumped right on that when he found out about it, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
he's better than shoveling snow outside. So I told him, I was like, at least going to be nice and warm this winter. Well, at least try to be wear a sweatshirt in this office, but it's a different kind of cold.
You're not out there.
Damn,
that's for sure.
I swear they hate me.
We have no control over it either. You know, that's what sucks.
Yeah.
About that one.
Oh, excuse me. All right. So what else are we talking about today?
We got nothing, don't you?
No, I didn't even know we were going live at this moment.
Oh yeah, we're that good.
You know.
No, I do want to bring up something that's we were talking about just earlier though. Something that's driving me absolute batshit crazy. I can't say every time I get around on the internet that CivDiv, you know, on YouTube and all these other wannabe BSOs, and I'm going to say that flat out because these guys are not accredited. Fear mongering, clickbait stuff type kind of people, but they make up a really good point that this is coming out to be a big thing. You know, with the waste, fraud, and abuse that's been happening in our federal government for a long period of time, any kind of government
all
period.
the time.
You know, they're really looking at certain things, especially like people with bad nexus letters and everything else, and you know, trying to get to the bottom of it. But the big thing is that's really hurting veterans is the fact that veterans are telling other veterans their percentage, what kind of benefits they have, all that stuff. My biggest thing I can tell any of our veterans or any veterans out there, they're not in our community, don't tell anybody your service-connected disability, because that just adds a whole new fuel to the fire. All it takes nowadays, and the way, you know, how everybody is, they will either narc when they shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like they just will say stuff because they don't like you or whatever, and just, oh, hey, this guy, you shouldn't be this way or whatever. You know, there could be all kinds of contentions by telling people your disability.
Yeah.
It's not good.
As much as I agree with that, you know, not sharing your rating with other people and stuff like that. Everybody also needs to understand that ratings are individual.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know what that individual, you know, went through or has or is still going through.
Yeah.
That has caused him to be rated at that, you know. ratings are not necessarily a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's good in the sense that it helps the veteran themselves, you know, for those disabilities, you know, but the higher rating, the higher the more that person has to deal with and everything like that. And you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Scars are not always visible.
That's the biggest thing. I don't know if you guys, half my job is social media, dealing with it and everything else. There's this guy I saw him on TikTok. He's pretty known with these young kids. His name's Caleb Hammer, and it's this guy. He's got like this podcast, and he brings on people, and he basically tells them about financial freedom. Like, what are you doing wrong? You're digging yourself a hole. All these things. It's all about finance stuff, right?
Okay.
And he just recently had a God, I don't know if he's a Navy vet, whatever, but he was a cook.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're talking about his finances, and this went viral, he basically asked him, like, what are you rated at? He's like 80%. He's like, what was your job? I was a cook.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just like laughs at and makes
Oh,
fun of the situation because
what?
he's that typical kids nowadays. That's how they work on
Mm-hmm.
social media to make themselves look cool or get
Yeah.
clicks. And I'm sitting here thinking, if that was me on that other end, I'd probably reached over and smacked the crap out of him just because of the fact that you don't know that Navy cook might have an FMF pin, Fleet Marine Force. He might have been in combat. You never know.
Or he could have been assaulted.
Yes, MSTs do happen to men.
And
there's all kinds of other
types
stuff.
of things. Yeah, there's all types of things.
So that right there is the number one reason why I don't like discussing that stuff, because now, because of that video, it's gone viral, and that just gives the government another way to go, what are our veterans doing? You know what I mean? And they're painting us in a bad light again.
And it's medical HIPAA stuff. Like, you should never have to explain that to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing I will say, especially at this point in time, there's always been fear with the VA ratings and the thought of them taking it away.
Yeah.
Right. If you've had those conditions, and you have the diagnosis and you got the continuity of care and everything like that, you're good, man.
That's right. You got nothing to worry about.
Regardless of what somebody comes out and says about you,
Yeah.
Trust me, being in this line of work, you see, unfortunately, the other side of this where, somebody will go and pay for a nexus letter.
Yeah.
For a not necessarily a condition that is that you could put a strong basis for, due to their past or their medical history in the service and everything like that. And you kind of dance in a fine line when we start talking about this, because they are out there for a reason to help the veteran get the rating that they deserve due to their past medical or their current medical condition, right? And it all plays a part in it, past and present. But there are those that take advantage.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, it is very small.
Yeah.
It is very small percentage of vets who do that, and those are the ones that, in my thought, are the ones that should be worried about that whole nexus letter. And it, the VA is going back and looking at those nexus letters to see how strong they are, right?
Yep.
And the rationale for it too.
Exactly.
Like, did they even write up a rationale? Some don't.
Yep.
And that's the biggest new M21 changes. You know what I mean? It's the verbiage.
Oh, okay.
What they're looking at. So,
yep. So, trust me, they have. It's a fine line again. They're there to help the veteran. But there's, as long as you are, you built the basis for it, you're going to be golden.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. And I mean, really, the percentage that we see is extremely small. I mean, I think I've only really seen maybe one for sure, one.
you're just like, well, I
Yeah.
don't know, man. You might want to
Yeah.
file this on your own, kind
Yeah,
of
and
thing.
I don't, I mean, it's so hard.
That goes into the ethics
Yeah,
things too.
it is.
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna do something if we don't see that. I mean, it's a fine line.
But again, it's not up to us to say,
Right,
we believe this or we don't believe this,
right.
because we don't know
We
everybody's
don't know.
issues.
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? But what we can say is, you know, this is encroaching that line,
right.
right?
And
And if you feel strongly about this, let's support you. You can file your own claim this way.
Mhm.
yeah.
But the reason why I wouldn't do it is because X, Y, Z.
Mhm.
Yep.
You know, in every situation, again, we go back down to it. Every claim is individual.
Yeah,
You know, so
That's so
yeah.
true.
It is, and some stuff is surprising when we see how they're rated, and no one, like I've said, no one should have to explain that to anyone ever. So that's why I don't like no, like, I don't like that when people talk about the rating. Like,
Yeah.
it's a very uncomfortable, it can be very uncomfortable. I
yeah.
mean, it's it's kind of like discussing your medical history combined with how much you get paid for work. You know, like
Yeah, no,
both of
I
those
can see that.
things you shouldn't talk about. Like, that doesn't just come up in normal conversation. So
Yeah.
why would you just ask somebody what's your rating?
But it's very common in the veteran community where, I don't know you from Adam,
Yeah.
but you're wearing something that's,
Yeah.
identifying yourself as a vet,
Mhm.
or we're saying coffee shop or something like that, gas
Yeah.
station. Hey, have you been down to see the local vet,
Yeah. Yeah.
VSO office or anything like that?
Mhm.
And, well, what's your rating? You
Yeah.
know?
And some of them do that. Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
you
they
should be at 100%.
and then
Oh,
You should do
yeah.
this.
and then they start talking about commonalities, right?
Yeah.
Well,
And it comes out a little bit. Yeah.
I have X, Y, Z. Well, shoot, so do I. You know?
Yeah.
Well, you should definitely be, down there. You
Yeah.
guarantee it. If I got rated it, you should get rated it too.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so individual, like Matt said, and
Mhm.
you, it's never the same.
But here's the thing: is you don't want to stymie that either, because
Right.
word of mouth
Yeah, it's worth a try.
will absolutely, spread faster than any kind of communication that we've ever sent out by any means.
Yeah.
And especially if talking to vet, and whether or not it's a legitimate condition for the individual who's not currently rated for it, at least it brings their attention to something that possibly is there,
Right.
Yeah.
right? And then they can come ask the VSOs in their community or anything like that. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I heard that we could be rated for XYZ condition.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's see what you got.
Mhm.
The rating is there, but can we find the nexus? Can we support it with the medical conditions and the continuity of care and how it affects you today? Right.
Mhm.
So,
That's some of the biggest stuff too. A lot of these guys, I've been getting a lot lately where, yeah, I've been diagnosed. If it was diagnosed in service, great. Love it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good stuff. But, you get diagnosed 10 years after service with something and you haven't been seen for it. I get a lot of that lately. Like, you just,
Yeah.
well, if you have it, why haven't you been seen for it,
Right.
And hey, the VA is not going to look at this condition for disability if you haven't been going to get seen for it. It must be fine,
Especially a physical condition. Like, I feel
Yes.
like the mental stuff is different because they recognize that a lot of
Yeah.
us don't talk about stuff until decades later sometimes or whatever. And
Yep.
that's why sometimes I've waited to file claims for people, and you guys probably have too, when they haven't had mental health treatment.
Yes. Yep.
Even if they have a diagnosis from a long time ago, I'm like, well, maybe you need to take some time and get seen for it and then start getting that going. And that has helped.
Yep.
So,
you mentioned a good piece, both of you do really, but I'm going to take this one at a time.
Yeah.
For you, right? Veteran gets out, moves on with his daily life, family, kids, whatever,
Mhm.
right? Work, gets distracted. And then 10, 20 years later down the road, now all of a sudden injuries from the past is starting to catch up. And I need to go ahead and start thinking about getting hooked up in my local VA and all this other stuff, right?
yeah.
Whatever prompts that decision. If you wait after you get out to file a claim, it makes it tremendously harder,
Yeah.
because now we don't have to, if you file when you first get out, and up to a year after you get out.
Mhm.
Okay. Your ETS date, a year after your ETS date. Any conditions that you file for, presumed to have happened in service, right?
Yeah.
Now I say any, but that's pretty broad, but majority of your conditions will be considered presumptive to your service just because of that timeline, right? Now, the longer you wait till after you get out to file your initial claim, right? Now we as VSOs and the veteran themselves have to explain why we didn't file within that 10, 20, 30-year period,
Mhm.
and that's when the continuity of care comes to be a big player
Yep.
in
Right.
that, right? Well, I may not have filed for those 30 years, but I've been being seen ever since I got out for this condition,
Right.
and, it is a normality where,
Yeah.
vets get out of the service and move on with their life,
Mhm.
thinking that
Mhm.
we got a handle on everything and we're golden. And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
time and age catches up with us.
I get a good example of a guy that you took care of, actually. The dude had been out for over 10 years, came in
Mhm.
this office and, I'm getting him 70% for PTSD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
Wonder who that guy is.
Yeah.
Yep.
10 years, but it's
Yeah.
because I had all that. I was shocked too because at that time I still wasn't a VSO-ish,
Yeah.
was
Mhm.
just coming into it. And that was a big learning lesson on continuity for me because I was like, okay, that's why they got me service connected. That's why there's
Mhm.
just plenty. It was
Mhm.
like 15 years of evidence, I think, of just
Right.
constantly going to Vero Beach and all these other, VA offices and everything else and
And
being
there's
seen for it.
several that that has
And
happened
they
where
tracked it
they've
all the way back.
they've gone to VA healthcare. I've had several where they were in different states, went to this place, even inpatient stuff,
Mhm.
and never had done a claim, like, because they didn't know. And then they come here, and it was pretty simple. I mean, it seems almost hopeless to them because, "Oh, well, so long ago,"
Right.
but they're still struggling, and then they get that, and it helps boost their ability to do more for themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the recognition too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That helps
Yeah.
out, right?
That's some of the biggest stuff.
Right.
You made mention of like when veterans get out and they may not
Mhm.
necessarily have that diagnosis or
Yeah.
have seen that medical care and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And that's something that we do in the office. And I agree with you as far as like not filing that claim right off the bat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't rush that process. And that's part of developing the claim.
Yeah.
We have to really put some work into it, but so does that veteran,
Right.
and the one things that the VA will not do is if we do not have a diagnosis
Mm.
of the condition, they will not give you a service rated, uh, you know,
Yep.
um, disability.
Right.
So, you know, veterans are notoriously stubborn as hell,
Hmm.
and they just deal with the sinus
Yeah.
issues or
Yeah.
We get that a lot.
pulled muscle that just keeps coming back and stuff like that. Um, And then all of a sudden, again, time catches up, body ages, and it has constantly increased. And the condition has increased as far as severity. And you may not have that diagnosis of it, but,
Mhm.
you know, okay, we'll go ahead and put in that intent to
Well,
file.
Yeah.
And then while that, we have that year to develop the claim. All right. Now you need to go ahead and start getting those diagnoses. Go see your primary care and stuff like that. Get treated for it, not just for the claim, for your
Yeah, for your
your
well-being.
well-being.
yeah.
Is number
Mhm.
one. Um, but that is all part of the development of the claim.
Yep. And it's the best part to see that they're actually getting the help too,
Yeah.
and then they actually feel better. Not only that, but then they're like, "Hey," and they're, just saying like, "Hey, it's okay." You can like telling them they can call 988 too.
Mhm.
And maybe even write down when you did that or whatever. And it helps so much with the claim.
Big time.
And they end up, I mean, I have multiple that they've gone and they're like, "Yeah, I'm really glad I went." And then after a few months, and I always tell them in the beginning, I'm like, it's going to take time to file the claim, so don't expect to see anything right away, but
Yep.
after you've gone a few times, let me know and then we'll do stuff. And then, they get impatient, but in the end, it was worth
Massively.
taking that time, and it was really good. So, I mean, so many of them that I've done that with, once I learned how that all the continuity of care and stuff,
Yep.
and, or, hey, like with sinusitis. I mean, for me, like years of just
Yeah.
terrible sinus issues, not knowing. Like, oh, well, I've been to the doctor dozens of times, gotten
Mhm.
antibiotics so many times I can't even count. And then, hey, did you ever? Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I tried this and that. And people realize, oh, yeah, that is a problem.
Mhm.
Sometimes they forget. They forget about it. It's like, do you remember anything else, like injuries that you had? Because and then you look back in their medical records, "Hey, do you remember when this happened to you?
Right.
When you nearly cut your thumb off?" Like, that's a
You're
big
like,
for
"Oh,
some
yeah."
reason, everybody hurts their thumbs. But, yeah, it's that kinda stuff or fingers, parts of their digits.
You know what I like about the
Like, "Oh,
claim
yeah."
process is, like, what you're saying is especially it's weird for the whole PACT Act stuff, you got the mental health conditions, sinusitis, rhinitis
Yeah.
usually runs in line with, I swear, 90 gotta be at least 90% of our GWAT vets that come in here.
Mhm.
Everybody's all nasally. Everybody complains about the same exact thing. They're on the same flucosinase spray. They're,
And it doesn't work, and
yep.
yeah.
And it's usually, oh, you need that surgery to fix your nose or you need this or whatever. But it gets them going. It gets them seeing the VA.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So if they do have other health problems, they're like, oh gosh, it's not that hard. It's not that it's getting
Yeah.
better as far as getting appointments. But like when the mental health stuff is,
Yeah.
it gets them routine, which is
Pardon me.
really, really our biggest thing is keeping in a routine. Well,
Yeah.
if you're doing
That's
every
true.
other week, doing a telehealth with Daryl or somebody over there in Gaylord,
Mhm.
and you're being seen, you get used to it. I've seen a
Mhm.
lot of my guys like, "Hey, man, thanks for recommending me to Daryl," or "Thanks
Yeah.
for recommending me to Holly or any of these other mental health people," because now they developed a really good relationship with them
Mhm.
and they're taking the steps. And I've seen quite a few of our veterans come back in the office and you're just like
Yeah.
smiley, they
Yeah.
got that. They have a different look to them. So, I
Mhm.
mean, the claims process isn't just about the money and compensation. It's about the VA recognizing what's going on and then also
Mhm.
getting you taken care of. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That's big.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
definitely.
part of the whole care picture, right? And
Mhm.
everything that the VA is doing a heck of a lot better over the last 2 years, 3 years, what have you. I can't
Mhm.
tell you the start date of it, but now, whenever you go in for your VA healthcare, you're actively being asked questions, whether
Right.
it's toxic exposure or,
Yep.
your medical history. And, you understand that you can file a claim for disability for these conditions. And you should
Mhm.
definitely go talk to your VSO, your local VSO.
Yep.
Mhm.
So eh, the VA healthcare side is definitely supporting the veteran as much as they possibly can,
Yeah.
throughout the whole thing, not just their physical well-being, but, you know, let me get you connected as well.
It's a lot
Yeah.
better than it was 10 years ago, let me tell you.
Yeah, and I didn't even touch it till, past couple of years
Yeah,
myself.
true.
So, yeah, I mean, so far I've had a good experience. And I think a lot of the veterans too like that they can do that the telehealth stuff for the therapy.
It's a pain
When
sometimes to drive,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
when you tell them that, especially in this rural area too, and people who work or whatever, you can do it on your phone. "Oh, I can?" And then they
Yep.
more likely to do it, so that helps too.
Lunch break, therapy sessions,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I've
it
done it.
is true. Yep,
I've done appointments right at my desk. I
yep.
love it.
Mhm.
Thank
And
goodness.
it helps, and then they feel that they get that connection with someone too, so then it continues to help them and they keep going
Yep.
Mhm.
without having to actually go somewhere. Because sometimes, like, with mental health stuff, people don't wanna go anywhere,
True.
and so I think it's a huge help for to have that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, oh, and I was gonna talk to you guys about like, you guys already know about this. For our viewers out there, Tech for Vets. I don't know if
Uh,
it's
was it
techforvets.org or Tech for
tech
Vets, Tech for the number 4 Vets, but
the tech thing where you got the computer and stuff?
yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know where I found it. I don't know if it was like a VA link site or something like that. I was perusing through and I was like, yeah,
Tech for troops?
Tech for Troops, sorry,
Yeah,
Tech for Vets.
because we
Tech
had
for
Trek for
Troops.
vets was the other thing with the coffee, so
That's
it's
right. I'm losing my mind about that.
Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, so Tech for Troops, it's I think they're based out of Texas. Really great organization. It's national. It covers every state in America. And basically what it is it's for veterans, especially like me. So I did it. I ended up getting an awesome computer. I got pretty much the same darn computer that the county gave me here. Except it's not a ProBook HP, it's an Elite, so it's a little smaller or
Nice.
whatever, but
And they're
it's fast.
refurbished and everything, and they get
Refurbished.
donations.
Yep.
And it's Tech for Troops, TECH for Troops. So TECHFORTROOPS.org.
.org. Okay.
Yeah, that's really cool though.
But it's
I never knew
great.
about
Like,
that.
so I'm single, only dependent in my house, of course. And so they have a scholarship. So there's an online, it's so simple. I mean, it's easier than some of our claim work, which is weird. And it's basically DD 214 approved. And I think it was just like basic questions or whatever. And then, so for one veteran single by themselves, you can't make more than $31,000 a year. You make over $31,000 a year, yeah, not happening. But if you do it, basically, if you're under that, man, I can't think. If you're under that $31,000, you will get the scholarship. So basically, it's a really ultra discounted rate. So that Elite thing that I got, the HP, that's probably a $700 or $800 laptop, and I got it for $143.
Yeah.
So that's a big savings on me because I've been needing a laptop to go back to school for drone school, and this will give me that option. So I don't know, like we got a lot of vets out here that really can't just go off and drop $1,000 on a laptop. So this might be a really good thing for some of our older veterans too. Depending on you have fixed income. So I'll put a link up. I did put a link up on our Facebook before, but I'm gonna I think they got a little video and stuff like that too. So
Okay.
look for that on Facebook. So
Like, yeah.
Nice.
can't believe I spit that all out.
We're gonna fumble our way through it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Camera's
Yeah.
not making me nervous, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm a photographer, but I hate my picture being taken, and I hate
I don't
video.
like
So
mine
it's like,
either.
but
well, when we shave you later, we can do it live.
hell no. We're gonna have 3 bearded dudes on this
Oh, yeah,
podcast here pretty soon.
Yep.
It's gonna be scary.
Yeah.
The shenanigans.
But good times.
Oh, that's funny.
So we do have some outreach events coming up.
Yes.
And we also have an intern going to be starting here as well.
Yeah.
So excited for tomorrow. See what every day brings us.
Heck yeah. We got Memorial Day. I'm gonna be in the East Jordan Parade. And then we got Petoskey Stone Festival's coming up here pretty soon.
Mhm.
Petoskey Stone Festival is the weekend before Memorial Day.
That's
now.
right.
Used to be Memorial Weekend, but they changed it last year.
Yeah. So we'll be doing that first.
Yeah. Less footies.
Yeah, I'm just
Yep.
looking at the date of what that is. That's the 16th is Petoskey Stone Festival
Is it?
at the Barnes Park Campground in Antrim County, which is Eastport, Central Lake, depending on how they do their address, but it's there.
Is that a Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
Okay.
So that's all day there. And it opens at 9 a.m., right? And they have a bunch of events. And then you guys are going to have a tent there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Memorial Day is the 25th of May.
Yep.
So you'll be at that parade? Like with
parade.
The office will be closed, but we'll have the outreach.
Yeah, we're taking the van out and
you're going to be in the van in the parade then?
bump some Bob Marley and chill out. I don't know why, but every time I play Bob Marley in the van, everybody's like, yeah, because everybody loves Bob
Even my
Marley.
kids like that.
It's good,
Yeah.
wholesome summertime music, They wanted me to, I was at Alden a couple years back ago. I was behind your parents actually. And
Oh yeah,
your
my dad's car.
I love that
His
thing.
Victoria, his Ford Victoria in 1957, I think.
It's like the
Or
coolest blue ever.
56.
It was funny. I had I don't know, I was gonna play like all the branch music or whatever, Marines and Navy and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Until I realized, those songs don't last that long. So I was running and I just kept looping it and stuff. I'm like, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, that's a
Hey,
little.
everybody, I like hoorah. We're all
That's like the
Team
VA.
America, but
Just play the VA hold music.
Right.
Opus.
That would
Opus
be
number
very
1.
funny.
That'd be funny.
That would be hilarious, actually.
We need to figure out who. So that song is on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's called Opus Number 1.
Yeah.
I want to know how much that guy made off that stupid Holden music. This is a part of me wants to strangle him just for
retired on some island, like out,
Probably
like living his life.
God, that music.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the echo drives you freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Does not stop.
That would be funny if you blasted it for a minute, though.
I'd have people probably get some
flipped
giggles
off.
out of that one. Yeah, I get flipped off or something.
Oh.
It's too funny.
But yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll continue next week. Get some updates out there, and
Yeah, hopefully I can be on one last one while I'm in the office here, but I'm
yeah.
going to try and join for sure when
Well,
I'm at the new office.
what we'll do is we'll do a little going away podcast or whatever.
Okay.
Get a
We'll have
keg.
some pizza.
Yeah.
Keg, you know.
Oh, gosh.
Some party
Well, you guys
streamers.
can have that because I don't drink beer, so.
I don't either, so. Unless it's a good Oberon. That's about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right, guys.
it's been fun.
Until
Have a
next
good one.
week.